Hello, my name is W. Leon Smith with KeyholeFarm.com. In our last update on our website, we mentioned that we were trying something very revolutionary, smoking soil to add carbon content to it to use as soil to plant with. Here I'm in the process of smoking the soil. On the left is where the fire is with wood smoke, and it goes along the vent in a upside down U shape into a tote where the soil inside is stirred up frequently, and then I end up with one bag of regular soil and one bag of soil that's been treated. Here I'm in the process, the next step of our 30-day experiment, of germinating some seeds. What I've done is cut some paper towels a little bit smaller than normal. Usually I use the regular size, but I had smaller bags I was using because I'm not doing very many seeds of a variety at a time. So here I put some black-eyed pea seeds onto the towel, and I'm going to wet it down using water, but this water is carbonated water from a SodaStream machine, which does much better and quicker activity than plain water. With black-eyed pea seeds, for instance, they usually germinate within 24 hours. Other seeds may take 36, but it's fast compared to the old way that I used to do it several years ago. So here I am patting down the paper towel with the seeds floating in the middle. BEP, black-eyed pea. I'm going to put it in that small bag, and then I will stack up each of these seed varieties that I'm dealing with. The seeds that I am experimenting with include turnip, watermelon, sunflower, tomato, cucumber, okra, popcorn, candy corn, pinto beans, lima beans, great northern beans, black-eyed peas, spinach, Swiss chard, cantaloupe, navy beans, and pumpkins. So rather than show video of me wetting down all of the varieties, I'm just going to show you about three and how that kind of works. This is the, let me see, pinto beans. I spread them out on the sheet and then fold it over and then wet it down. Didn't take very much water, very little. And then I kind of mash it around to make sure that they're all wet, good and wet. And then I pick it up, put it in the palm of my hand, or my fingers more accurately, and slip it into a bag. Okay, the next one is probably going to be pumpkins, I think. I think I had 4 pumpkin seeds. We'll see what it is. Yes. These are the Max pumpkins, the big pumpkins. So here I go wetting it down. Now what I did with the soil when I was smoking it, I started out with, the brand was Miracle Grow potting soil. I wasn't sure I would have enough for this experiment on hand, so I mixed some Ace topsoil with it, started up very well. So that was the combination of the soils that I used. Now here I've brought the packets of seeds into another room, and I'm hanging them up with clothespins. They will be fairly close to a heater, but not real close. They'll just be staying kind of warm. That's the idea. You don't want them to get cold. And really the heater only comes on when it gets cold in the house, so room temperature would be fine, I would think. But I labeled each bag as to what it is, and I'm hanging them up. The Z is zucchini. I didn't mention that in the previous list I read off, but zucchini is in there too. So the idea is I wanted to see how each of these different types of plants do whenever they're exposed to light, and I was going to grade them day by day to see what produced and what didn't. Now here I have some slightly bigger cups that I use, and I sliced a tomato, and I'm going to put a tomato slice in each of the cups. One is marked S for smoked and the other is not. And I'm going to put dirt on top of it, or the soil. One is the smoked soil, one is the other type of soil. Those are the larger cups. And as I go in, I set them under the lights as they're prepared. Now these particular seeds were not germinated at all. They were just stuck into the container. Okay, now it's been about 3 days. And I'm going to take the seeds and open them up and see how they did. And go ahead and plant them, one in a smoked with an S cup and the other in a cup that is not marked S. The cups have holes poked in the bottom of them to let water flow through. Okay, and there is a black-eyed pea seed that's germinated. One thing about black-eyed peas is that if you plant them in the early spring, a lot of times they rot. I don't know why, but they do. But if you germinate them first, they tend to grow. So that's what I like to do. That way I can have black-eyed peas harvested at about the same time I would normally plant them here in Central Texas. So I get the 2 cups that are marked BEP, black-eyed peas. There's the Miracle-Gro bag on the left and the smoked bag on the right. Put the seeds in. Those are just real small Dixie cups like you'd find in a bathroom. So I'm putting seeds in, about 2 or 3 seeds in each one. And then I will take them into another room and put them under a, I got to put the dirt in first. I'm putting the dirt on top of them from each bag according to smoked or non-smoked. And there's the second one. Filling it up. I planted these seeds approximately the same depth in each of these cups. So it's been delivered to the light room. So now I do the next one. I'm not going to go through all of these, so you don't have to watch me do this very much longer. But this one is Great Northern Bean, I think. And yeah. And you can see the seeds. There it is. And I will do those the same way. I'll put them in the cups and then put soil on top of them, finding the correct cup. The one on our right is smoked. The one on the left is not smoked. You can see the approximate depth that I'm planting those. And this is the third one. This will be the last one I show you. That's okra. And you can see it's germinated. So I'm putting the seeds in. And this is only after 3 days. Okay, on day 5, after I've put them under the lights, which would be day, well actually would be day 3 of actual after planting, you can see some turnips are coming up. The ones on the right are the non-smoked and the ones on the left are the smoked. So the non-smoked in this particular case did better than the smoked. But with some of the others, the smoked did better. So really it's not a scientific enough comparison when it's all said and done, but it's very interesting to see. And there's something coming up. That is sunflower, SF. Not San Francisco. And that's okra. And that's a sunflower on the non-smoked side. And that is okra on the non-smoked side. So we're starting to get a little bit of activity on day 5. Well, there's some tomatoes. Okay, now we're on day 8. Okay, we're looking at the plants again, and you can see that they've grown some and some new ones are sprouting. You can see some growth in the plants. Usually you can watch the dirt on top and it'll kind of get crumbled a little bit or a little mountainous a little bit. You notice just then on the far left corner some tomato plants were coming up out of the sliced tomatoes that we did. That was the smoked side. On the non-smoked side, the tomatoes are not coming up yet. That's them right there. So now we go to day, I'll put my fingers up, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is day 9. We're seeing more leaves. We're seeing more plants coming up. The ones on the far left over there are the corn. The two in the back are the candy corn, and the ones in the front are popcorn. But the smoked and the non-smoked are right by each other because I didn't have room on my particular table to make them separated. Okay, now we're on day 10, and there's still things coming up. The corn's looking better. The tomatoes are looking good in the far back corner on the sliced ones. On the non-smoked sides, there's a lot of leaves coming up. So everything's looking good so far. Although the tomatoes from the sliced on the right aren't coming up. We're at day 12, 2 days later, and things are still growing pretty good. Getting some height on some of them. So day 12 would actually be day 9 being in the cups planted. So that's just a little bit over a week. And things are looking pretty good. We're at day 15, 3 days later. And you can see that the corns are coming up. The other plants are doing very well. And some new ones are starting to erupt from the soil. So that's good. We're on day 17, 2 days later, and things are still looking great. The corn's still growing. The sunflowers are looking great. The turnips are looking good, as is the pumpkin and all. So everything's still doing well. A day later, everything's still looking great. Actually, I filmed these every single day, but I just picked a few out at random that looked like they were a little higher quality. 24 days. Okay, now by here I've retransplanted all of these into bigger cups because I felt like the smaller cups were not sufficient in size, and besides they were falling apart. So I lost my coating on the side of them. And there's the pumpkin. Looks good. That one does. That was a smoked soil pumpkin. So I was really pleased with this. And at this point I was getting ready to go out and put these in the soil. So that would be the next part of this presentation. Well, actually 25, one more day. Okay. The plants are growing each day. You can see growth. You can see that they're sturdy and that they look green. They look good. So, yes, I was very pleased with these. Now, the light I used was a halogen 90-watt flood lamp. I had 3 of them above the plants, in case you're wondering. Today is the 28th of January, so we're 28 days into this project. I thought about planting these outside yesterday, but we were going to be getting a freeze. I do have freeze cloth installed around this Keyhole garden kit, which will help with that, but I didn't want to take a chance, so I waited until today. The plants are looking pretty good. There's a nice pumpkin in there and all kinds of real neat things. So anyway, that's where we are on the project. Thank you for watching.